Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a chocolate toolbox with tools for Father's Day. For today's class you will be needing silver luster dust, red luster dust, brown luster dust, your red chocolate and your dark or milk chocolate, your tool mold, and a paintbrush. Let's get started. So to get started with your Father's Day chocolates, the first thing we're going to do is melt down either dark or milk chocolate. And then we're going to do the handle of our toolbox, and then we're going to fill in our tools with the dark or milk chocolate. And you're going to want to microwave them for 30-second intervals for the first 2 times, and then do 10 seconds after that every other time until the chocolate's melted, and make sure you are stirring it after each time. So once your dark chocolate is, or milk chocolate, whichever you have, is completely melted, then we're going to put it into our mold. What I did here was to make my mold a little more level. I crumbled up some foil just so it's all nice and level. Otherwise the mold kind of tilts because the toolbox is higher than the rest of the tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the handle on the toolbox. You can either use a toothpick to help guide it into the handle, or you can use the back of your paintbrush, or you could actually use the paintbrush. It's all preference. You just need to wash it off and dry it before we luster dust. So I'm just going to take a little bit of chocolate and I'm going to lightly dab it into my handle of my toolbox. You just want to fill it all the way up. The best you can. Take your time, no rush. Get it all smooth. Dab, dab, dab. And now just give a little tap on your mold to pop out any air bubbles that might be in the chocolate. The next thing I'm going to do after we do that is we're going to fill the tools in with our dark or milk chocolate. So don't worry about it getting perfectly in the mold. It doesn't have to be precise. Any chocolate that spills over, we can totally just trim off the sides. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to fill it up, our tools, with our chocolate. And just keep going. Chocolate tools. Great for kids to do because it doesn't matter if it gets messy or spills over, because we can always just trim off the excess chocolate that may spill off to the sides of the mold. So you're just going to fill up all your tools. Once you have all your little chocolate tools full, what you're going to do is you're going to tap on your mold, and then tapping on it is going to help spread the chocolate, get into any crevices or holes you may have missed, and then it's also going to bring the air bubbles to the top and pop them. Once again, like I said, don't worry. I mean, these are like small molds, so it's going to be hard to get it exactly in. We can just take care of the excess chocolate that spills over. Tap it nice and smooth, and then now we're going to do our toolbox. So you can melt your red chocolate same way we melted our dark or milk, 30-second intervals, 10 seconds after that the first 2 times. Now that your red chocolate is melted, what you're going to do is you're going to fill the first mold. You're just going to pour it completely in. Push it in, it's okay. It spills over. Just want to fill it up completely with the red chocolate. Get all that chocolate in there. We get a little spillage, but that's okay. It's just chocolate. Alright. So we're going to fill it up completely. And then, like we did with the chocolate tools, we're going to tap our mold to get out any air bubbles. See all the air bubbles coming out? That's why we like to tap our mold, just gently. You really want to make sure you tap this one well, because it's the bottom of the toolbox that it goes deep. So you want to make sure we get all those air pockets and crevices out. Just tap it. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. See all the air bubbles coming out? Nice. That's what you want. Okay, good. Let that sit. I actually need to melt some more red chocolate, so I will be right back. So once we did the bottom of the toolbox, we're now going to do the top. So you're going to pour your red chocolate into the top. Same way you did it before. Push it out, all the crevices to the top. And then lightly tap, helps spread it out, getting air bubbles out. You also pop them like this if you like, if you don't want to tap. You can also use the back of your paintbrush to pop them if you don't want to tap too much. Totally up to you. And then after you get any air bubbles out and it's all smooth and the chocolate's set, then you're going to either put your chocolate in the fridge until it's set or the freezer, total preference. Once your chocolate has hardened, to unmold your chocolate, you're going to flip it over, and then you are going to gently push on the back of the molds, and your chocolate molded pieces should come right out. I think the big one needs a little more time. So if that happens to you, also just put it back in the freezer or the fridge for a little bit longer to set. In the meantime, while the bigger piece is back into the freezer or fridge, what you can do is take a paring knife, an X-Acto knife, and you can start trimming off the extra pieces of chocolate on your tools. And you can just start cleaning them up. Just be very careful, don't cut yourself, take your time. Okay, so while my bottom is still, while the bottom of my toolbox is still sitting in the freezer, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna paint our tools. You know, we wanna give them a little bit more of a realistic look. So you're gonna take your silver luster dust, you're gonna open it up. Okay, and you're gonna take your paintbrush, you're gonna dip it into the luster dust, and then using the cap, you're just gonna lightly dab your brush off. You don't need a whole bunch. So starting with, I think this is a wrench, you're just gonna lightly start to paint it with the luster dust. And it's gonna give it that silver look that you would find on your tool, that Dad would find on his tools. So you're just gonna lightly, see very little that I put on my brush goes a long way. And you're just gonna keep going. All over your tool. And then you're gonna do that with all of these silver, the top of the hammer silver also, and the top of the screwdriver silver also. So using the red luster dust, you're gonna paint the sides of the top of the toolbox to give it more depth, and then you can also do a little bit on the top of your toolbox, give it a more of a worn look. You know, Dad uses his tools a lot, right? So it's not perfect. And then I'm going to do it on the bottom of the toolbox and also the handle of the hammer and screwdriver. And I'm going to use the silver luster dust now to paint the top handle of Dad's toolbox. You have brown luster dust also, so sometimes Dad's tools might get a little rusty. So for the brown, what I'm gonna do is just go into some parts, you know, gently with my paintbrush and just give Dad's tool, you know, the little rusted look that, you know, sometimes happens. So like a little maybe here, there. Just go through on top of the silver to give them that little rusted look that could happen with tools. Not all over, just a little bit. You know, aim for like the crevices, the outside area of the tools. Perfect. So when you're finished luster dusting all your tools, then you can actually take them and put them inside of the toolbox for Dad. So you can put your wrench in, the screwdriver maybe sticking out a little bit, the hammer, you know, make it look like a little toolbox. And then you can put your little top on. Cute little realistic looking chocolate toolbox for Dad. Thank you for making a chocolate toolbox with me today. I hope you had fun. If you have any questions at all, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Pastry Mama. You can order the kit for this class and many others at candylandcrafts.com. Have a great day.